In this video, we're going to adjust the cam on the new hinge. Before we begin, it's important to note that there are two hinges presently being used on our swing doors. This one, which I'll refer to as the old one, has a flathead screwdriver receptacle on the cam cover. This cam cover also acts as a locking mechanism for the cam. This cover plate, which covers the bolt heads, the mounting bolt heads, extends from this face to the radius portion of the body and leaves this very distinctive sharp edge on the front face of the hinge. The new hinge does not have a flathead screwdriver receptacle on the cam cover, and this cover plate extends from one end to the other end and has a soft radius. It is important to differentiate between these two hinges because the mechanical components within them are different and the methods for adjustment are different. So now that we understand that there are two hinges with different components, I'll remove the old hinge and we'll move on with the adjustment of the cam in the top component of this new hinge. First, we'll remove the dust cap. This reveals the cam. As you can see, the cam is on center. When the cam is on center, the top component of the hinge and the bottom component of the hinge are in vertical alignment. Now, as I said, the cover cap for the cam on the old hinge acted as a cam locking device. But on this new hinge, it is just a dust cap. But this cam must be locked into place, and this is accomplished by a set screw in the body of this hinge, hidden behind this cover plate. So in order to remove this cover plate, there is a screw in the back that is threaded into the cover plate. Using a 3mm wrench, we remove this screw. Once the screw is removed, you can approach the front of the hinge and push up on the cover plate and slide it up over the top. As you can see, there is the threaded hole from which that screw was removed. Now we have removed the screw and the cover plate. We have revealed the set screw that locks the cam. Using a 4mm wrench, we can loosen the set screw. One turn is enough to allow the cam to move freely. Using a 6mm wrench, we can now rotate the cam counterclockwise or clockwise. Counterclockwise moves the top part of the hinge to the right relative to the bottom part of the hinge. Moving it clockwise moves the top part of the hinge to the left relative to the bottom part of the hinge. I know it may not look like it's to the left, but once this cover plate has been placed back onto the hinge assembly, it clearly is adjusted to the left. Say, for instance, this is the cam adjustment we require to make the door operate properly. We then simply put the 4mm wrench in the set screw and lock the cam assembly in place. This set screw should be torqued very tight to ensure that the cam is not allowed or permitted to move throughout its life in operation. Now that we have adjusted the cam and tightened the set screw to lock it in place, we can place the cover plate back on. Ensure that it is on center top to bottom so that the threads of the screw that fastens the cover plate in place can thread in. Back to a 3mm wrench, replace the screw, nice and snug. Now, all we have to do is replace the cover cap, and we have successfully adjusted the cam on this new hinge assembly.